Redcar Athletic's big kickoff. Roll those credits. Good morning everyone, and welcome to another new video on the channel. Please do remember to like, comment, subscribe and all of that good stuff, because the big day has arrived. It is the start of Redcar Athletics season in step 3, and they don't come any bigger than the match we're going to this afternoon, which is certain to see the league attendance record broken for Green Lane. It is Redcar Athletic versus Bury in the Northern Premier League Premier Division. So let's head over to the Redcar seafront and find out what on earth is going on. So here we are in Redcar, and right on cue we've got some wind as usual here on the Redcar seafront. So coming into today's game, Redcar Athletic of course were champions of the Northern Premier League Division 1 East last season and were promoted to the Premier Division for the first time. And Bury FC were champions of Northern Premier League Division 1 West and were also promoted. So it's a clash of two sides that were both playing in step 4 last season, but of course Bury FC possess a long and colourful history dating back to the 1800s, and for most of that time they spent it in the Football League. So it's all set up for a fascinating day, a fascinating encounter. Let's head into Green Lane and see how it all pans out. So here we are at the entrance to Green Lane for today's game. And there is confirmation. August the 8th, Bury FC pitching in Northern Premier League. Let's head in and see how things are shaping up. Burger van getting very ready for a very busy day today. Let's have a quick look in the fan zone. The ground opened earlier than normal today at 11 o'clock. It's about 12 o'clock now. And no early arrivals as yet. And the club shop is back in business today. And the pitch looking in good nick. And as you can see, if I just pan in over the far side, another new development as the addition to the stand on the far side is being put in place. Not quite finished yet, but that third section, the outside frame, is now on. So now it's time for today's programme review for today's issue of By the Sea, which is a bumper edition 48 pages long, 48 pages big. £4.50 is the price of the programme today. It will normally be £2.50, but there's a special bumper edition for today's game. Contents on the inside pages, my column down the lane, comments page from the gaffer. Then we got this year's squad, reports from the back end of last season that weren't covered in a previous programme. So that's the final home game at Step 4 against Blythe Town and the final away game at North Therapy. Then we've got treatment tales from the physio room. Then reports on the pre-season friendlies with Middlesbrough and Darlington, and with Hartlepool and Redcar Town, and then with Gisborough and Morpeth. Then we've got all this season's fixtures in the middle. We've got the league table, which is all zeros at the moment. We've got playing stats, obviously there's nothing there. We've got Bury FC opposition fact file, a couple of pages. We've got classic campaigns from Lee Edwards. We've got a special feature on the death of the original Bury club, written by yours truly. Then we've got some ads. Then we've got another feature from me, Look North East, which brings you up to date with some of the club departures that have happened this summer, sadly, in the North East. Then our club history, and then a feature from the non-league paper and the teams on the back cover. So here we are about half an hour before kick-off here at Green Lane, and it's already very busy, as you can imagine. And as expected, we're on track to beat the attendance record today. As you can see, the booths are full. The Steelmen's is open again as an overflow bar today. As I think we showed you earlier, the club shop is back open today and it's doing a good business. And the fan zone is, I'm not even going to bother going in there because it's pretty busy, but as you can see, in fact, there is rooms to sit on the tables, but people aren't sitting in there because it's so hot. And boys down the left. And Bury clear their lines. Team James Neild with the throw-in for Bury. Steelmen win it back, and now Johnson. Louis Johnson driving at the defence. Johnson goes through, but that's comfortable for Mitch Allen in the Bury goal. Oscar Fletcher. And now White. Ball back with Neild. And dealt with by Connor Smith. I thought it had gone out for a throw-in, but it's actually the first corner of the game to Bury, to be taken by Leo Graham. Graham with the corner, and right across the face of goal, but no one was able to get on the end of it. Fletcher on the left. Johnson. Johnson's effort takes the deflection, but it's easy for Allen. And Banks with the latest Redcar throw. Banks to Hawkins, back to Banks, and now Owen Burns. Owen Burns does well. Crosses. Connor Smith, and loses his footing. And Bury on the counter, that's well dealt with. Now Sloan into Lewis White, and now out to Neild. Threll held, and that was played down the left to Stephens, and the ball's still in play. Thought it had gone out. Graham. And Redcar clear their lines. Played over the top. And falls to Leo Graham. One back by the Steelmen. Hawkins to Fletcher. Now Owen Burns down the line to Louis Johnson. Johnson looking for Boys, but it's just a little bit too high for it. So free kick to Bury in a dangerous position on the left, just outside the Redcar penalty area. It's going to be Leo Graham on set piece duty. Graham fires it in, and it goes all the way through a crowd of players, and it gets a nick on the way through. It's going to be a corner to Bury. So Louis White with the Shakers corner, and it goes in near post, and the danger looked like it was averted, and now finally it is, but only as far as Robinson, and that's way off target from Bailey Sloan. Graham with another set piece for Bury, which he takes short. Graham to the edge of the area, and that's flag is up on the far side there as DJ Pedro and Tom Carr combined. So throw in on the far side to Redcar. Burns, Smith, back up to Burns.
On Benji!
Into Fletcher. Wins the ball. So after a lengthy stoppage which saw Lewis Hawkins get booked for Redcar, and also Lewis White collect a yellow for Bury for his protest, we have a restart with a free kick from Bailey Sloan, and he just plays it back to the keeper. Free kick to Bury on the halfway line. And it's played to the edge of the area, headed clear by Guru. And another free kick conceded, and that was a bit of a loose challenge from Fletcher. So Leo Graham again on set piece duty for Bury. Fires it in, and it goes right through a crowd of players again, and the delivery from Graham is probably deserving more from his forward line. Steppens, and now Sloan crosses in, headed clear. It's going to be recycled by the captain James Neild. Neild again. And now Robinson. Lewis White. Threlkeld. White. Now Neild again. Patient build up from the Shakers. And a saving challenge that leads to another Bury corner. So Louis White with the latest Bury corner as the visitors starting to dominate possession in this spell. White fires it in and headed clear. And that's a goal kick. Top looking for Louis Johnson, and he gets clear, but he can't get his shot away and can't get any power on it, and it doesn't trouble Michallen. Fletcher picks the ball up, plays it through to Boys, and an important challenge there from Threlkeld, who plays it back to the keeper. Now Bailey Sloan.
Come on, get back!
Sloan into DJ Pedro, and now back to Graham. Neild on the right.
Give him too much space, Redcar!
And that's comfortable, low down for Asfari. Graham evades the challenge of Fletcher, and now it's out on the right. Robinson, White, Sloan. Steppens goes for goal and it's saved. Good save by Masfari at his near post. So Leo Graham with the latest corner. The Shakers dominating the corner count this half. All cleared. Now Hawkins. And the referee blows the half-time whistle. And the first real chance arriving on the stroke of half-time for the visitors. Other than that, it's been a cagey affair with Bury dominating possession, but not really carving out any clear-cut chances. And the best chance for Redcar falling to Louis Johnson, but he couldn't quite get his shot away. We're going level at the break here. It is Redcar Athletic 0, Bury 0. And we're back underway for the second half here at Green Lane. Bury attack on this right hand side with Neil the captain again. And cleared, but only as far as Neil again. Pretty poor clearance from the Steelmen, it has to be said. Mel Hardo with the cross. The first corner of the second half for Bury. Lewis White with the latest corner for the Shakers. Attack in the end, which has got their fans massed behind the goal, and it flies around the area and it's cleared for now.
Close him down!
White. Mel Hardo. And goal kick. Throwing to Bury, taken by the captain Neil.
Get it again.
White. Robinson. Now Graham. Robinson. Latest corner for Bury and headed clear.
Close it down!
White. So after a mix up in the box that almost let him boys, finally the Steelmen have their first corner of the game, taken by Johnson. Deep. Fired in and it's too deep and misses everybody. Free kick out on this right hand side, going to be taken by Kieran Banks. First real set piece opportunity for the Steelmen. Fires it in. Bury on the attack again down the left. Inside to Robinson.
Get across, Denny!
And a great save from that. Good strike and well turned around the corner by the keeper. Leo Graham with the latest corner for Bury. Fired in, and this time comfortably dealt with and cleared upfield by Hawkins, and now all the way back to the keeper. And a bit of a loose clearance, but and now Johnson has won it back. In fact, he loses it off his feet and picks the ball up, and now running down the right hand channel. It's got Guru in support if he needs him, but he crosses it in. It's headed over by Johnson. Promising play from the Steelmen. Robinson and Danny Rose foot deflected it back to Masfari.
Close it down!
Robinson picks up the loose ball and it's dealt with by Guru. It's through and blocked. Tackled by Kieran Banks to deny Tom Carr. It's another corner to Berry. Leo Graham then with another corner for Berry. Fires it into the middle and headed over by Carr. So throwing to the Steelmen to be taken by Banks. Inside to Boys. Boys to Spalding. Spalding goes for goal and it's well saved by Mitch Allen. And the ball's still there with Kieran Banks fired into the middle and across the face of goal, and Berry are able to clear the danger. And now they're looking to counter with Pedro. And a good challenge. Free kick to Berry out on the left hand side. Fired in, headed clear by Rowe. And now Nathan Guru. Berry win it back with Robinson. And calmly dealt with by Owen Burns. The danger still not clear. And now Redcar on the attack. Louis Johnson into Boys. Boys to Spalding.
Go on, Luke!
Spalding's effort charged down. So a free kick for Berry on this right hand side. Leo Graham fires it in. And it's headed in the air and well plucked out of the air by Masfari. And Berry on the attack with their substitute, and it's cleared to safety by Banks. It was Kai Evans who put in the dangerous cross. New corner taker for Berry, it's going to be Steppens. Fires it in, headed goalward and cleared by Masfari for another corner. So Steppens again with the corner. Fired in and headed well over by DJ Pedro.
Go on now!
And just wide there by Stephens. And a wayward header caused chaos for a moment in Allen's goal, and he was forced to turn it round the post for a corner. So Banks with the latest Steelman corner. Banks headed clear back to Curtis Round, and now Fletcher fires it in. Ardelean. Danny Lay. Graham. Kneeled. Banks. One back by the Berry substitute. Now Oscar Fletcher. Luke Spalding. Spalding. Curtis Round. Round. Curtis Round again. Hawkins and tipped over the post, or no, just tipped up into the air and then caught by Allen. Berry on the attack again with Pedro, and he fluffs his chance, but he gets another chance, and now with the clear Graham and fires over. Julian heads it out to Luke Spalding. Spalding fires it in and just headed wide on the stretch by Ardelean. And the referee blows the final whistle here at Green Lane in a hard-fought encounter, which sees Redcar Athletic gain their first ever point in Step 3 football. It was a match of few chances, probably Berry having the clearer cut chances, although there were some good half chances for Redcar to steal the points at the end, but both sides will be reasonably happy with an unbeaten start to the season as it finishes here at Green Lane, watched by a record league crowd of 1,272. It's Redcar Athletic 0, Bury FC 0. And Redcar take the applause from today's bumper crowd, as Bury do likewise at the far end. Okay, so I've been joined after that one by Carl Jarrett, and first point on the board at step 3 and a clean sheet. What did you make of that one?
You know, first and foremost, a good point at home against a very good team in Bury. You know, they've come here and they've given us a great game. I mean, it was good for anyone that's paid money to come in and see that game today. I thought we started really bright. You know, we asked them to put the ball in good areas for what we went with today's information side of things. And we started well within, you know, the first 15-20 minutes, and we spoke about what their shape might be, because we hadn't watched. And then after about 15-20 minutes, obviously their class obviously took over in the formation side of things, and the shape like pulled us from areas that we weren't happy about. So we spoke about at half time, you know, and we made a few little changes, and I think in the second half we grew into that game massively. And you know, I know they had a few chances and they had a lot of set plays, but I thought we were going to nick it at the end, if I'm quite honest. You know, in a couple of chances that we had, the lads battled really hard from start to finish. So delighted with the point. And
the supporters saw a different side of us today, because obviously in the league we were in last season, we didn't really have many games where we had to soak up huge amounts of pressure, and we coped well with that today, and that's credit to Josh Masfari in the back line.
Yeah, we spoke before the game and spoke to training on Thursday. You know, about our discipline and us not getting frustrated, you know, when we're going to come across some decent teams in this league, because we've all got to understand, you know, the levels that we're going up, and we're going to come across, you know, a lot of good teams in this level that have been in before. You know, we're going to spend a lot of the times without the ball as well, so we've worked on a few things in training, and that was another good test. And you know, and the games that we took in pre-season against your Middlesbrough and your Darlow and your Hartlepool, these were for the reasons, you know, that we took these friendlies on to see what we would be like, you know, defensively. Josh had pulled off an absolute world. He was saving the bottom corner, which has kept us in the game, to be fair, to keep the 0-0. So, but defensive wise, I thought we'd done really well with our headers, you know, tackled really well, and I thought we ended the game with a lot of heart.
And a record league attendance at Green Lane today, 1,272. Nice for the players to play against that backdrop.
Excellent atmosphere from all the Bury fans. You know, they're going to be travelling really well to go and follow them, and a great turnout from the Redcar fans today in the community. Fantastic to see it full. We'd love that every single home game if we can get it. You know, at the back of the lads, but it was excellent just watching it.
And another ex-Football League club provide the next opposition. What are you expecting away to Workington on Tuesday night?
A tough test again, Workington. You know, we speak about this level all the time. You know, lads work for a living, and you know, got to travel down there. It's part and parcel of what we're in. But we're expecting a very tough game against Workington. You know, I think they've moved place. I think they might be on a 4G. So we're expecting, like I said, a tough battle, and we'll have to prepare, see what we like for bodies, because there's a few sore legs there, and hopefully go down there and give a good account of ourselves.
All right, enjoy your night, and congratulations on the first point.
Thank you.
So it finishes Redcar Athletic 0, Bury 0. What a day for the club. I've just got back from Green Lane now on Saturday evening, and a massive milestone, 1,417, absolutely smashing the previous record league attendance, almost doubling it in fact. And it was amazing to see Green Lane packed, and you know, credit to the Bury fans as well. No need for segregation, no suggestion of any problems off the field at all. All of the visitors from the northwest took part in the atmosphere, created an amazing wall of noise behind the goal that Bury were attacking in the second half, and it just, like, it was a great introduction to football at this level. Turning to the match itself, Redcar started very well in the first 5-10 minutes, but then had to enjoy a lot of the game without the ball, as Bury dominated possession. Didn't really create that many clear-cut chances in the first half, just one on the stroke of half-time that needed a smart save from Josh Masfari, but they did really turn up the pressure in the opening 20 minutes of the second half, forced a lot of corners, Masfari pulling off some more brilliant saves to keep us in the match. But then the table swung again, and when Carl Jarrett rang the changes, the last sort of 15-20 minutes, if you were going to pick a winner in the game, you'd probably say that the Steelmen were going to nick it, because with Luke Spalding added on the right, that gave us an extra outlet and an extra burst of energy, and we started to create a few chances of ourselves, plus a sort of freakish back pass that nearly caught the goalkeeper out as well. He scrambled it to safety for a corner. So in the end, you'd probably say that a draw was a fair result. We will certainly take that, and I'm sure Bury will take it as well. Clean sheet and the first ever point at this level for both sides. I think we both would have taken that before the game, but it is an introduction, obviously, for how much harder it's going to be at this level of football. We knew that anyway, but this just confirms it. Having said that, I don't think that we're going to play many sides of Bury's quality during the course of this season. It was certainly different from anything that we faced in Step 4 last season, but I guess we won't know that for certain until the season pans out. But overall, a hugely enjoyable day at Green Lane, and we roll on now to the next game, which is actually also going to be the next game on this channel, which is on Tuesday evening when we travel to face yet another former Football League side when we're away to Workington, but not at their historic stadium of Borough Park, because that's having a complete revamp, which will take a couple of years. So in the interim, we are playing at Workington Town Rugby Club, and we have the honour of being the first ever visitors for Workington in a competitive match at that ground. So it promises to be quite an occasion. So join me for that one. That is Tuesday the 11th of August for Workington versus Redcar Athletic in the Northern Premier League Premier Division. And until then, thanks as ever for watching Just a Sec TV.